like and subscribe.
Unreal's newest update, Unreal Engine 5.7, just released and it is a big deal. The reason why is the brand new nanite foliage system, which revolutionizes the way foliage is rendered in computer graphics.
This is what they're using in The Witcher 4, I believe.
Like trees are some of the most difficult objects to render because they are made up of many different elements. A tree can have hundreds of branches, and on these branches are thousands of leaves.
This
crazy. Means a single tree mesh can easily be made up of hundreds of thousands of polygons, which are the flat planes of geometry that make up every object in 3D. The more polygons you have on screen, the longer the engine will take to
look at that shit, man. What the fuck?
Every object in 3D. The more polygons you have on screen, dude, the longer the engine will take to render it. To create a dense forest, we have to use these high polygon trees thousands of times. Very quickly, we can end up with an environment with millions of polygons, drastically decreasing the engine's frame rates. To get around this limitation, developers use level of detail, where the object will switch to a version of itself with less polygons the further away it is from the camera. Trees generally use billboards as their lowest level of detail, which is just a
PS1, man. The PS1 days where the trees were like this, and then sometimes they were like crossed. So like you would have two PNGs like inside each other. You know,
flat plane with a texture. Billboards didn't look nice, and the transition between the mesh and the billboard was very noticeable in-game. Vegetation-rich environments used to be difficult to create before Unreal Engine 5. Thankfully, Unreal Engine 5.1 introduced nanite for foliage. This gave us...
This is not real footage? What the fuck?
Unreal Engine 5. Thankfully, Unreal Engine 5.1 introduced nanite
for foliage.
This gave us the ability to use Unreal's virtualized geometry system called nanites on foliage, eliminating the need for level of detail and allowing for vegetation-dense environments, like this jungle. Every color you see is an individual polygon, and there are millions of them. Now with nanite on foliage, we no longer see any ugly LOD transitions and billboards at a distance. All the polygons are rendered, but we still had performance issues. On
the fucking... Dude. Was it... Borderlands. Borderlands has nanites baked in, man.
Forest, because nanite had problems rendering thin and close together geometry, as well as mass materials, which are what trees are made of. The polygons of a tree that is far away from the camera and occluded can still be rendered, even though it doesn't have to be, taking up unnecessary computational power. This is fixed in 5.7 with a new formal level of detail called nanite voxels. If a nanite tree is far away, it will transition to a voxel version of itself that is automatically generated. You can think of this as a 3D block representation of the tree, almost like if the tree was made in Minecraft. Now, only the trees that are close up to the camera will get the full nanite geometry render, and trees that are far away will transition to voxels, which are much easier to render than the entire tree. As the camera gets farther away from the tree, nanite will use less voxels and increase.
Every game in the future is Minecraft. Damn.
The size of the blocks. All you have to do is open up your tree and under shape preservation, select voxelize. We can use console commands to make voxel plants appear closer to the camera to see what it looks like in action. Here you can see how each colored cube is a voxel. Nanite voxels also look better than polygons when
so they just went from like triangles to boxes. Okay.
Far away. We get more accurate shadows and lighting from a distance, making the vegetation feel fuller and more dense. Voxels are just one part of the new nanite foliage system. The other part is the ability to create trees directly in Unreal with the new procedural vegetation editor. Trees have always been difficult to create because they are very geometrically complex.
The amount of slop, the more UE5 slop we're gonna have in the future, unoptimized. Oh, we love those.
That is why there are dedicated programs to create foliage like SpeedTree, which uses procedural generation to
all the fucking asset flippers
dynamically build realistic plants. But SpeedTree is a subscription service by Unity, and it is not optimized for the new nanite foliage system. Now we have a new procedural vegetation editor that allows us to easily create trees directly in Unreal, just like SpeedTree. With the editor, I can first start with a trunk, then choose how the trunks generate, and of course scatter leaves and branches across the tree. This is then exported as a mesh, ready to be used like any other asset.
Damn, just as God made them, man. God
This greatly
damn.
cuts down on the time it takes to make unique objects for your
Combine that
natural
with
environment.
AI slop.
All the trees you see in this world
Why are you complaining about AI slop, man? You love the AI slop.
were created with the vegetation editor. A major benefit of creating trees in Engine
That looks
is that the
crazy.
plant is automatically set up with dynamic wind animations. This allows for each branch to have their own unique wind calculation.
Bro, look at that shit, man.
Before this, wind animation used to be faked with
1
shader math in the
terabyte
material.
big. Big news though. No, it's only because companies don't take the time. Was it the big news currently is Helldivers. Don't like the game, never played it though, but Helldivers 2 on PC went from 150, was it so 150 gigabytes to 23. Yeah. The PC version of Helldivers 2 has undergone a dramatic reduction in installation size, shrinking from approximately 154 gigabytes to just 23 gigabytes. This is when a company actually sits down and goes, okay, we should optimize this. To be fair, they didn't do it. They just hired people to do it who are like good at optimizing shit. 23, man. 154, 85% reduction. But yeah, in the future, it's just got to be, it's down to the company. That's all it is. It's down to the company if they're going to take the time. Probably not, especially like Call of Duty. They're going to make a new one each year. Why the fuck would they take the time to, like, you know, make it smaller? They won't. They just won't. They're just going to make a new one, and the old ones are going to like fuck off somewhere.
It was difficult to create wind animations that could dynamically change from the wind's direction. Now trees can be rigged to have their own bone system.
I don't play Helldivers 2, but it's too broke. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, as a Warframe player, I know this is like cringe for me saying it looks boring. But like, I play Warframe.
Designed to change from the wind's strength and direction. This is made possible with a new nanite skinning system, which optimizes and allows for trees with hundreds of bones, enabling foliage interaction on a massive scale. Creating and rendering large natural worlds filled with plants has never been easier than now.
They're willing to spend the resources. But the thing is, like, on console, it was like 30 something compared to like PC. Because on PC, that usually they just test shit on PC and never optimize, and then when they move it to console, mainly because it's like easier to optimize for consoles. So like, yeah.
5.7. Maybe the most significant new feature that gives us a glimpse into the future of Unreal is a new AI developer assistant.
No, I didn't say that Helldivers 2 is like Warframe. I never said this. You are fighting demons in your head, man. I'm saying that it looks boring, but I'm a Warframe player. The grind is like roughly the same shit. That's what I meant. I never once said that Helldivers 2 is like Warframe,
which is a large language model like ChatGPT built directly into Unreal.
I was just saying, like, it's a bit hypocritical of me because I just do the repetitive shit, but Helldivers looks repetitive and boring, but I play Warframe, so it's like,
Assistant, which is a large language model like ChatGPT built directly into Unreal. This AI can be opened up like any other tool and is trained on data from Unreal's
AI
documentation
and don't shit on AI slop or on this. AI assistants for like coding, it's a fucking tool, man. Yeah, you're gonna get AI slop, but like some people, this is very helpful. Like developers like use this a lot in what's that thing? That coding program. People use AI a lot, especially in like coding
and projects. We can ask it any question about Unreal, and it can even generate entire C++ and verse code.
All this is an assistant. That's what it is. It's an assistant. It's better than like reading the whole manual for like how to use Unreal Engine 5 when you could just ask a bot that knows everything about it.
code for us.
Nah, I'm not. Every time there's like an advancement on UE5 or on Unreal, I'm like, I should download it, and I do download it, and then I never use it.
Given a prompt. Now, this AI is super experimental, and it is not that practical to use just yet.
Yeah, Visual Studio. That's what I'm thinking of. Visual Studio. People use AI plugins in Visual Studio just to either teach themselves or remind themselves of how to do certain things.
The biggest problem is that it is not context aware, and it doesn't know the code, blueprints, or environments you are working on. It also doesn't generate blueprints and has a hard time explaining how to create a blueprint. For now, I would treat it like interactive documentation. So if you have a question, instead of searching the web, you can ask it in Unreal, not leaving the program.
Dude, but this you know what we're going to get? More civilization type games like this, like isometric style games where like you just zoom in and they're gonna have like the cool new boxy foliage and trees and shit.
Create a blueprint. For now, I would treat it like interactive documentation. So if you have a question, instead of searching the web, you can ask it in Unreal, not leaving the program. But this does give a glimpse at the direction Epic Games is taking Unreal. Recently, Epic Games added talking AI agents to Fortnite.
I do future dev stream where I just learn how to add shit and make stuff in Unreal Engine.
Right. And showed it off with a Darth Vader that players can talk to live in game. This created a lot of viral moments and was the largest use of a game character powered by modern AI.
This was funny. AI Darth Vader was fucking hilarious. The clips.
We can expect more of these AI features coming to Unreal in the future. The next major change is that we have fully switched over to Unreal's new material system called Substrate, which is no longer in beta. Now by default in UE 5.7, all your materials will be using Substrates, which gives us significantly more features to create lifelike materials. For example, one problem with the old material system was when we blend between two different materials. It might not look like it, but on this object, we are blending between two materials. We are blending a dirt material up here and a metallic material down here, and they're being combined with this node.
Indeed.
That is how we currently combine materials, and sometimes, like right here, it looks terrible. This is because Unreal thinks this is one material. It doesn't know that these are two different materials that should be calculated separately. The reason why the transition is bad is because we are blending between a metallic material and a non-metallic material. Whenever we combine metallic with non-metallic, we get bad transitions. Here is the same material but in Substrate. It is a game changer because it allows materials to render separately from each other. Materials can now blend realistically. Here is the old material and here is the Substrate material. It looks a lot better. The highlights are noticeable and the colors are no longer washed out. It is the next generation of material rendering. It still uses traditional PBR rendering.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay. Now they added it to like a practical thing where like, oh yeah, it's metallic. The initial one is metallic, but then the dirt on top of it. Okay, that makes sense. The whole time was like, yeah, dude, sure.
The next generation of material rendering. It still uses traditional PBR rendering, but it gives us access to more options previously unavailable. We now have more control over our materials than ever before because of this new layering system. Not only can we transition between materials realistically, we can also add materials on top of each other. Here are two materials layered vertically. At the bottom, we have a cliff material, and above that is ice. We can layer the ice on top of the cliff, and we get both materials combined. The layers are rendering separately from each other, with their own specular reflections and shadows. This was impossible before Substrate. The downside is that Substrate is more complicated, because we get so many more options.
It sounds like it just doubles the computing power then for rendering that material, or both materials.
To customize the material. Luckily, using these features are completely optional. You do not have to change your existing workflow or update your materials. By default, the material graph is exactly the same as before, except now we have this extra input at the bottom. If we plug a Substrate node, then that material output would change, and we get to use these additional features. There is no sponsor for this video, but if you like it, make sure to subscribe for more Unreal videos in the future. Procedural content generation, or PCG for short, is now production ready and is no longer in beta. That means it is safe and stable to use in any of your projects. This fundamentally
This is like the it's a double-edged sword when you make tools so much more easier and available for the common man, and the common man is, well, the common man, you get slop, but when someone who has skill uses it, it's like a sushi knife, man. Give it to a normal guy, dude, he's gonna fucking cut himself somehow.
change the way we make environments. With PCG,
Give
we
it
are
to a
able to set
sushi
rules
chef?
to
Wow.
tell Unreal how to use
I love
random
this shit.
generation
Like you're just seeing it in real time of them moving shit around, and then the environment kind of conforms, and like, it's so good, man.
scatter objects. It is very similar to Blender's geometry nodes or programs like Houdini, but built into the engine. The most popular examples of procedural generation is Minecraft and No Man's Sky. The worlds are not handcrafted. Each one is randomly generated from a series of rules created by the developers. To showcase procedural content generation, I quickly created, right now we're in a snowy biome, and with just one click, I completely change my environment. So now this is a desert, and
That's
then
crazy.
with another click,
Seen
I
that in
make a
real time,
spring
man.
environment with bright green plants. And the power from PCG comes from customization. So of course, I can increase the amount of trees to create a
Bro,
much
that's just crazy, man. Oh man, imagine this in VR, dude. I've spent like so long in VR.
denser forest. Blender's geometry
Definitely looking at trees, guys. Yep, me looking at trees in VR.
nodes are a great example of the possibilities of procedural generation. There's a thriving community of tools made using it. Everything from trees to entire buildings can be generated procedurally using geometry nodes. We will see similar tools develop around Unreal's PCGs. In fact, the new procedural vegetation editor is a tool built with PCG. This tree generator would not have been possible without the core PCG framework.
That's
And
so cool,
LEGO
man.
Fortnite is the first game to be made up entirely of PCGs. The world is completely built using this technology, showing how it can already be used in games to generate worlds similar to how Minecraft worlds are created. So we are already seeing practical use cases of PCG in action. Now we can generate entire open worlds procedurally, without manually placing each asset. There has been significant improvements to animations. Character animations are some of the hardest assets to create, often requiring dedicated animators or motion capture artists.
Oh yeah, I forgot they have like that 3D movement thing where the transitions are a lot smoother.
This is why it is important that animation can be reused and transferred between characters. Unreal's retargeter was already good at this.
And
But
just
it
like
had-
filming motion, and then they just have like an AI that will just say, oh, okay, we'll just place the skeleton on this person and then animate it to fit the video, and then now you can transfer the animation into the game. It's so crazy how easy shit is. You can just scan shit with your phone and add it to your game instantly. Like, what the fuck, dude?
had issues when transferring between characters with extreme proportions. For example, transferring this robot's animation to a troll results in the hand going into the body. With the new spatially aware retargeting, Unreal is smart enough to change the animation
Bro, look at that
and
shit.
avoid the character colliding with itself. We have more control over our animations with physics world collisions,
Just one button, dude. Just one button.
so that rigs can realistically interact with the world, and hair is now animatable, allowing us to switch between art-directed movement and physics simulations. But body animation is one half of a character. Now we can also transfer face animation and lip sync between characters with the Rig Mapper animation retargeting tool. So a face animation captured with MetaHuman Animator can be applied to an entirely different character, opening up new workflows. Unreal is more important than ever because half of all next-gen games are being made in UE5. There is no better time to learn Unreal Engine than now.
Jeez.
Luckily, this right here on
Dude, I need to increase the timer. That's crazy.
YouTube that will teach you the basics of Unreal.
Should we learn UE5? Dude, 5 hours. Wait a second. Do a 5-hour stream where we just follow a tutorial, dude. I don't know. Someday. I don't know. It's too lazy.
In the first beginner course, you will learn how to create this castle environment you see right now. And in the second tutorial, you will program your first video game. You can check out both of them, links in the description below.
You don't think you can open it? I think it's fine. But you could just learn it and then put it in your CV, then apply for a job and say, I know it. I know about it. I know how to do it. Never done it. You know?